Hi Rumians, I'm Druzhnik. Thank you for being here and welcome back to a channel update for August 2019 and going forward. I will be discussing some changes to the channel's content, some changes to the way in which the content is delivered, and some really cool new things. Also, stay tuned for the giveaway information coming up. You will be able to win not one, not two, but 3 different games soon. This video will end with the AMA that was on Twitter and Discord a few weeks ago, and if you are not interested in the whole update but just in a particular part, then feel free to check the timestamps that are appearing in the screen right meow. Now let's start with the things that are staying the same. The things that are staying the same are me doing Let's Plays for strategy games and sci-fi games mostly. I'm currently playing Stellaris and Total War 3 Kingdoms, so those series will be continuing, although Age of Wonders Planetfall is coming soon, and I will talk about that in a little bit. The other thing that is staying the same is my intention to put simulation games into rotation periodically, as I did with trying out Rise of Industry, which I really enjoyed, and from your comments I gathered that you kind of enjoyed it as well. So I'll keep trying to put those in whenever I feel like it, basically. And the other thing that is staying the same are the Let's Try Tuesdays, every 3 weeks on Tuesday. I sometimes miss them, but that is usually because I'm sometimes a little bit too busy. However, I'm going to try to put a Let's Try video out every 3 weeks on Tuesday at 6 p.m. CET, because I simply love trying out games, and you never know which gems are out there just waiting to be discovered. So I would like to keep discovering those little gems alongside you. Now, some of the new things. So I've been doing this for about 1.5 years now, and I'm a storyteller. I really like telling stories, and before I used to write them down, and then I started doing YouTube and I stopped writing. And I kind of do miss the ability to tell more stories, so I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate those into the channel, and either doing so through YouTube Let's Plays or through live streams. I'm also currently considering adding a little bit of a different type of game to the channel, either niche, for example, or even The Sims 4. If you have missed the niche Let's Try in March, make sure to check it out. I'll put a link to the video. And let me know if you'd like to see more storytelling type of content from me. Now, the niche Let's Try was not me trying out storytelling per se, it was me trying out the game. And I really love the game, but seeing as it is quite a different experience from, for example, Stellaris or Total War, which are both on the channel right now, I just want to check with you guys and hear your opinions and see how you feel about it. But yeah, I'm missing the storytelling a little bit. Now I also want to try, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to start new collaborations with YouTubers, both as scheduled YouTube videos and in live streams. I have new content in the making right now, and I can't tell you much about it yet, but keep an eye on the Planetfall release coming up in a few days. That's all I can say. Depending on progress on that, videos might come right around release or a little bit after, but let me tell you, it is going to be magnificent. And another collaboration I'm preparing will focus on streams, where the focus is on Paradox interactive games and how you can learn to play them, which is fantastic, isn't it? More news about that will hopefully come soon, but yeah, I'll keep you updated on that because I think that is going to be a killer as well. Talking about live streams, I've teased wanting to stream more regularly before, and I intend to fulfill that promise. To that end, I've also gotten a face cam, so the next stream I do should include one. I'm very excited about it. When I move to the new place, I'll have a dedicated gaming room. Yeah, that's part of it was basically part of my selection criteria when I was looking for a new place. I was like, I need to have a game room. Like, I don't care about all the other. Well, that's not entirely true, but I need a game room. Period. So I'm very excited about it. And when I move there, I'm planning on making the game room awesome. And I can't wait to share it with you. So, Facecam is coming. And then the last new thing I want to do, not daily, but I want to vlog every now and then. I'll record a vlog and just share some things with you. I'll start with the move to the new apartment and showing off the new gaming room because I'm pretty sure that you're going to be interested in seeing it. And then I'll move on to vlogging about general life things with Rumi and Sienna. So definitely keep your eyes peeled because they will make regular appearances from now on. And maybe that will also satiate my need to tell stories a little bit. So those things are coming. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to, I don't even know, format, edit, whatever them, but they are coming. So before I move on to the Q&A section, I have a giveaway announcement to make. I'll be giving away not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of Niche soon. Why? Because the game has gotten a big and very, very good update, and the developers were kind enough to share some keys with me to hand out. So, I will plan a stream with Facecam, hopefully, during which I'll not only be playing Niche, but also giving you the opportunity to get your hands on the game as well. So stay tuned for the precise date for the stream. It'll likely be nearing the end of the month due to needing to do all the things and the stuffs for the move. But soon after the stream, I'll be giving away 2 more games, which I will reveal later on this month. Cliffhanger! And now, the Q&A part you've all been waiting for. I ran a Twitter and Discord question a while back, giving you the opportunity to ask me questions. And here is what you want to know about me and the answer I can give you. So I had a question from Robert asking me what older games I would love to see get a remaster or a sequel of. So I would really love to see a very good sequel to the Mass Effect franchise, and I know that there is already a sequel, Andromeda. I did not like it. And with me, I think a lot of people who did enjoy the original Mass Effect franchise. And yeah, I would so much love to see a good sequel to that. If we're talking about a remaster, maybe that's the reason why I like Niche so much, but I would like to see a good remaster of Creatures. And I don't know if you ever heard of that game. There's a Creatures 1, 2, and 3, I believe. And Creatures is a game where you basically had eggs, and these little creatures came out of it. They look a little bit like gremlins, but not really. And they live on a sort of a spaceship that has a sometimes different biomes. And you basically got to keep them alive and safe and breed with them. And there's some genetics involved, but mostly there was a huge community around them making creatures and sharing different colors and whatnot on the internet. That was a long time ago. I think that was like the 90s or something. I'm not sure, but I loved that game. And I would like to see a good remaster of Creatures. So that was question number 1. Now, Monkfish asked what my favorite Paradox game ever is, and that is Stellaris. I love Stellaris, and I will tell you why in a second, because Sabouts has asked what your favorite, or my favorite strategy game of all time is and why, and that's Stellaris. So I can answer these 2 questions at the same time, basically. Why is Stellaris my favorite strategy game of all time? That's a good question. I think this is a pretty lame answer perhaps, but I usually never finish games. And I know that sounds weird, but let me say it differently. Mass Effect is the very first game that I've ever finished in my life. Before then, I would play for a long time, and I would stop before the end. And that is because I don't like endings in a way. I don't like saying goodbye to things, and I usually, when I watch series, for example, I watch them right up until the second to last episode, and then I stop because I don't want the story to end. And with games, I was usually just too lazy to end them. So, and I know that Stellaris is not a game that you end per se, but after my Mass Effect experience, I was like, okay, maybe I should try to end games more often because it's kind of, useful and nice to know the ending. And then I started the YouTube channel a few years later, and now I'm kind of, required to play until there's some sort of ending, because otherwise, there's no fun to watch. And Stellaris is one of those games that I just keep coming back to and keep enjoying playing until an ending that I've set for myself. And coming from not finishing anything in terms of games to finishing Stellaris over and over and over should mean, I guess, that it is a game that I just really love to play and that I keep coming back to and keep enjoying. So I don't know if that's a lame answer. Maybe it's not. But yeah, that's I think why Stellaris is my favorite game of all time. My favorite strategy game, I mean. And the other reason is just because it's a good game. I mean, it is a seriously good game, and I love the content that keeps coming out for the game. I love the community around it. The mods are awesome. I'm currently hugely enjoying my cute cat names mod. Not my mod. I downloaded it. Somebody else's mod, but it's so good. It's hilarious. And I just like the possibilities that Stellaris gives me. And I can do a little bit of storytelling there. I have a space cat legacy set up, sort of ish. So yeah, that's my favorite strategy game of all time, and therefore also my favorite Paradox game. So, moving on to the next question, Spirit Fang asked me, how do I decide what to do in a game? How do I make decisions? This is a very hard question, Spirit Fang, because that requires me to know how my brain works, and I don't. But I guess I do like planning, and I do like looking ahead, and I do think of myself as somewhat of a strategist. So if I were a Total War Three Kingdoms character, I would definitely be the blue strategist. In charge of the archers and the fiery trebuchets and stuff. But how do I decide what to do? I usually have a short-term and a long-term goal, and everything I do supports the long-term goal, and my short-term goals are reset every bit of time, depending on what happens in the game. So, knowing and understanding mechanics in a game, and I try to kind of pick them up quickly if I can, I just go with decisions that I think are supporting both the short-term and the long-term goal. Now, that is still very vague. I don't know how else to explain it. I mean, maybe I don't explain well enough in the videos why I'm doing what I'm doing. If so, let me know, because I'm happy to explain a little bit more. But yeah, I guess one thing I will say is that I'm noticing that I make different decisions when I play games offline as opposed to when I play games for YouTube, because I have the tendency to turtle, but a turtling YouTuber gets boring real fast, likely. So I try to override my turtling tendency and be a little bit more aggressive. Now, the best example there is when I play Age of Empires, for example. I used to turtle and build up until I had a huge army, and I would do the same thing over and over every time. I'd have a huge contingent. I think you could fit 40 soldiers, 40 whatever, in one group. So I would make 40 40 swordsmen, 40 archers, 40 horsemen, and usually 80. I would make two groups of horsemen. Then I would also make 40 horse archers, usually, and 3 trebuchets, and a priest. And I would put them all in a long army, and I would love looking at it. And once I had all of that, I would finally exit my fort and go and just kill everything. Everything on the map. Literally everything. So that is my natural tendency as a gamer. But watching me build up an army of 200 in Age of Empires is probably really boring. So the decisions I make in the games that I play for YouTube are a little bit different from my natural tendencies. But I think I'm getting better. I don't know if I've answered your question, but I can't really say anything else about it, so let me know. Now, Silent Fox has asked what got me into strategy games like Stellaris and the like. So, yeah, I've just mentioned Age of Empires. I played a lot of Age of Empires when I was little. Like, I don't know how old I was, 8 or something. And Heroes of Might and Magic as well. And I loved those games. And then I branched out to Total War. That was, I think, I don't know, when I was 10, early teens. And I honestly, I didn't really understand Total War well enough. But I enjoyed playing it, and I enjoyed... Back then, I really did enjoy the sieges, but I was better at them than I am now. It's weird. I learned a lot from the Total War games. And then I had a period later in my teens where I mostly played games like Gunbound and League of Legends. So that wasn't really strategy. But then I went back to strategy through Total War again, and eventually I ended up with, I think it was with Crusader Kings 2. Which I loved. It was like falling into a warm bath. It was great. And then I got Master of Orion, the remaster, the new version, after watching a Let's Play on Hadrian's channel, and I really liked the game. But I kept hearing about a game called Stellaris. Yeah, back to Stellaris. And at first I was hesitant because I was like, well, I'm already playing Master of Orion, and it seems like Stellaris is a lot more difficult to understand. So I don't like Stellaris. And that was stupid, because as soon as I got over that and tried it, I was hooked. I couldn't stop. So yeah, that's how I got into strategy games. So basically from early childhood, evolving onto what I do now. And I still actually play Age of Empires 2 quite often with friends. We have LAN parties every now and then, about 4 times a year, and we play Age of Empires. Yep, it's fun. So Menturius asked, what is my first PC game? Oh, hello, Doggerty! Thank you for disturbing my channel update. I love that. So Menturius asked, what is your first PC game? My first PC game, I think, was the DOS version of Prince of Persia, which I never finished, obviously. Also because it's just really hard. I mean, have you ever finished that DOS version of Prince of Persia? Because it was really difficult. If you have, let me know what to do, because I don't know. I've tried it again like 2 years ago, and I still couldn't do it. So, hard. Then Lycan Pictus asked, how are you so good? Well, I don't know. You keep me sharp, man. You keep me sharp. And I love doing YouTube. Poofy Gaming said, did becoming a YouTuber have any effect or change on your life? That's deep. I like that question. Yes, it did. In the first place, better voice and pronunciation control. I still say sometimes, but not as much as I used to. So I think that is important as well when you're working and in your professional job. If you are able to talk more smoothly, that's always good, right? You make a better impression. Aside from that, I just feel happier because it makes me, or it gives me the ability to work creatively. And it's completely different from my day job. And I've always been a little conflicted between what I do for a living and what I like doing as well. Because I like what I'm doing for a living, but my creative brain doesn't get a whole lot of room in my day job, so YouTube helps my brain to do what it also wants to do. So that's, yeah, it did have an effect on my life, and I love it. Oh, Blissful Kitty has a good question. What is your favorite candy? My favorite candy, I think, are those lollipops that change your tongue color, but I never eat those anymore. But I really love them because what is better than a blue or green tongue, right? It's cool. The current favorite, which I actually do eat, are Oreos, although you could say that is not candy, it's cookies. So if we really need to keep it to candy, then I think I would go for Mentos. I think. I don't really eat candy. I eat cookies, and I eat potato chips. Then Sivcat has quite a few questions. First one being, tell us about your holiday in Poland. It was good. I went kayaking 22 kilometers down a river, and it was fabulous because I was all enclosed in nature, and it was so quiet. When not paddling, you wouldn't hear anything, not even birds. It was total silence. And it was so quiet that at some point I would paddle, and then, you move the water with your paddle, and the falling water would start to sound like human voices, and I'd be like, are those humans? Am I hearing humans? And then I thought, wait, you're getting really silly. So I was like, who am I? Where am I? Am I alive? It was a very interesting experience, and I really, really loved it. I have beautiful pictures that are completely green, nothing human on them, and I love it because I really like being in nature. So that was one of the good things from the vacation. We did other things as well. Ate a lot of ice cream, and didn't really go sightseeing because you don't need to. I'm there a lot, so I know the places there. Went shopping as well, so yeah, it was good. Other questions from Sivcat. What is Ruby up to? She's up to no good, as usual. No, I think she's fine right now. I think she's pretending to sleep. Sienna, what is Sienna up to? She's actually sleeping. So, well, she just moved from the living room to the bedroom, but yeah, 20 out of 24 hours a day, she sleeps, so she's sleeping. Other question, do you paint your toenails? Yes. Have you been driving any forklifts of late? Only in my imagination. Unfortunately. I have a forklift certification for the ones that are wondering why this weird question is here. I got a forklift certification back in March. It was a joke. a work joke from my boss. It was a day-long training, which was a lot of fun. And now I'm a certified forklift driver. But I haven't driven any forklift since then. Sad. I did see that there is a forklift simulator game in the making. But I also saw that they were driving with the forks up in that game. And you're not allowed to do that because it's dangerous. So I'm not getting that game. Then the last question from Sivcat is, are you ready for Civilization 7? And the answer to that is yes. So, that concludes the Q&A part of this update. All the other things that I said before, schedule, I'll be posting some of the schedule on Twitter. Be sure to keep an eye on the Planetfall release, and be sure to keep an eye on the live stream announcements for Niche and the other giveaways that will be coming, including the face cam, and for the vlogs that are coming. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button and please consider subscribing. Helps out immensely. Also, please make sure, if you want to leave comments. I'm very, very, very happy to talk to you. If you have other questions, please let me know, and I will see you next time.